Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentor Ancient History series. We are continuing post-Mauryan period. One small announcement for you, I have started History Optional Mentorship Program, daily answer writing program. I will give you daily targets, you have to write the answers. I will give you model answers also and give you the feedback. Within 4 months, you can complete the entire history optional. For further details, please contact the IAS Mentor. Let us continue the political history of post-Mauryan time period. So far, we have seen that what are the various factors that caused decline of Mauryan Empire. We have seen weak successors, financial crisis, then feudal lords declaring independence and foreign invasions. Many kingdoms emerged. First, let us see the dynasty which replaced Mauryan dynasty in Pataliputra, that is Shunga dynasty. The person who established Shunga dynasty was Pushyamitra Shunga. Pushyamitra Shunga. He killed last Mauryan ruler called Brihadrada and established Shunga dynasty. Next, second person who became successor of Pushyamitra Shunga was Agnimitra. And thereafter, different personalities emerged. But when it comes to Shunga dynasty, these two people are two powerful rulers. The last ruler was Bhagabhadra, most important person in the list. Bhagabhadra. Pushyamitra Shunga, one important personality, Agnimitra, one important personality, and Bhagabhadra, one important personality. And thereafter, again, weak successors. And finally, it is going to be replaced by another dynasty. From the prelims point of view, these people are important, and these people patronized some other writers. That is also important. What are the development that happened during this time period? The facts are important for the prelims point of view. First one, Pushyamitra Shunga. Pushyamitra Shunga. Let us see what is the empire. This was the empire of Shungas. Identify this one. If I maximize this one. Patliputra, Vidisha, then in Madhya Pradesh, Mathura region and Sagala region. Simply northwestern part, Gangetic Valley and Bihar region, West Bengal region, Bangladesh, and up to Madhya Pradesh. This is the empire. They ruled at their maximum extent. Pushyamitra Shunga replaced Mauryan emperor here. He started ruling. Already by that time, what is the time period we are talking about? The timeline is 185 BC. By this time period, in this area, already Greeks were entering. Greeks were trying to enter into Gangetic Valley. So naturally, like Chandragupta Maurya established, who was the ruler here? Seleucus Nicator. Conflict happened. That is why, as part of the agreement, Megasthenes also came to Patliputra court. Now, successors of Seleucus Nicator were ruling. Again, that Seleucus Nicator empire also disintegrated into small kingdoms. The kingdoms, whoever close to this area, they are going to enter into Gangetic Valley. Again, the conflict, he has to stop this movement. That's where he is going to fight with the Greeks. He is also going to perform Ashwamedha sacrifice. Probably it is a ritual to clear the Greeks from the Gangetic Valley. Possibility is there. Let us write one by one. Pushyamitra Shunga. Now he is going to rule up to 149 or 148, because when it comes to timeline, it's very difficult to exactly name which point to which point. So roughly this is the time period he was ruling. What are the challenges he faced? Greek invasions. Challenge he was facing. Next, he maintained law and order, tried to stabilize the kingdom, Gangetic Valley. He performed Ashwamedha sacrifice as well. Now, Ashwamedha sacrifice means, is he following Buddhism principle or Brahmanical principle? This is Brahmanical ritual. Brahmanical ritual. So, what it is showing? Pushyamitra Shungas or Pushyamitra Shunga is a Brahmana. Pushyamitra Shunga, he was a Brahmana. He became commander-in-chief in the Mauryan dynasty. When things are going in wrong direction in Mauryan Empire, he took the control. He killed the last Mauryan emperor and established stability in the empire. He revived Brahmanical tradition. Revived Brahmanical tradition means Brahmanical rituals like Ashwamedha sacrifice and also patronizing Sanskrit. Are you seeing ideological difference between Mauryan Empire and Pushyamitra Shunga Empire? Brahmana, revival of the Brahmanical tradition, patronage of Sanskrit tradition. Because of this, some historians considered that Pushyamitra Shunga's emergence as the next ruler is a kind of Brahmanical revolt against Mauryan Empire. Because why? Mauryan emperors did not specifically patronize these sacrifices. Jainism they patronized, Ajivaka sect they patronized, Buddhism they patronized, but they did not persecute Brahmanas. Ashoka Dhamma says in his inscription, he expected every individual in his empire respect the learned people, including Brahmanas. Persecution did not take place, but this is considered as a kind of revolt because they lost the employment, they lost the patronage. That's why gradually their importance came down in the society. Some historical interpretation is it is a kind of revolt, and after coming to power, he started persecuting the Buddhists. That kind of one interpretation is also there, given the conditions of this time period and his inclination towards revival of Brahmanical tradition. But you have to see in the political context that no person in the Indian context can persecute everyone. They may have inclination towards a particular ideology, but they cannot persecute everyone and they cannot uproot every tradition that already prevailed. Whether he persecuted Buddhist monks or not means there are some decrees, some laws that if someone bring the head of a Buddhist monk, he is going to gift the person who brought the head of the Buddhist monk. One kind of royal decree. In his same time period only, Barhut Stupa is going to flourish during his same time period only. Many stupas are going to emerge in post-Mauryan time period. He is not going to destroy all the stupas that were already there. The stupas which already started by Ashoka, he is not going to persecute them. He is not going to uproot them. Therefore, even though some historical interpretation says the Brahmanical revolt and he is against Buddhism tradition, but the archaeological evidence is proving otherwise. In case of India, that is going to be very unique feature of Indian politics. That's why Indian politics, no matter how hard a ruler is, ultimately follow inclusive approach, secular approach. It is going to happen, bound to happen. But definitely during his time period, some ideas like in case of Ashoka, Buddhism got priority. In his time period, Ashwamedha sacrifice, Brahmanical rituals got priority. He patronized, naturally, Sanskrit poets are also going to stay in his court. Important from the prelims point of view. He patronized Patanjali. Very important. Patanjali. Do you remember? Panini was there around 450 BC. It is considered near Takshala region. He was there. Takshala is important education center. Panini. What is the book he has written? Ashtadhyayi. Prelims question is coming. Panini wrote Ashtadhyayi. This is Sanskrit grammar. Around this time period. Now, in between Mauryans, when it comes to Mauryans, Prakrit, Pali, Sanskrit also going on, but this kind of development was not there in Mauryan. Now, in Shunga time period, Patanjali has improved the book on grammar. He wrote commentary on this that commentary is known as Mahabhashya. Identify this one. So Mahabhashya. Patanjali wrote Mahabhashya. From the examination point of view, Patanjali associated with Mahabhashya. What is Mahabhashya? It's a commentary, great commentary on Panini's grammar Ashtadhyayi. Now, do you see what is the relevance of this? Prelims point of view, you have to remember this personality, this book, this personality, this book, and Patanjali associated with whom? Pushyamitra Shunga, Shunga dynasty. Panini associated with Mahajanapadas. This can be any kind of combination. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Any kind of combination, permutation combination can come, question can come. Already it was also asked. The sentence was like, Patanjali wrote Ashtadhyayi. It is not the case. Okay. Panini was associated with the Shunga dynasty. No, Panini associated with the Mahajanapada dynasty. That's why that kind of combination can come anywhere. Now, what is the significance of this point means? Identify this one. The knowledge that started in 450 BC, now we are in consider say like 150 BC, for example, because Pushyamitra Shunga is there up to 490, 149 BC. 450 to 150 means after how many years we are talking about commentary on the previous grammar, that is after 300 years. What is the significance of this development means? This is how our Indian tradition continue to flourish. One great person has written something, people did not forget it. People are going to improve on top of it. 450 circumstances are different. The kind of Sanskrit people were speaking is different. Then if you go back to 1500 BC, this is the time period of Rig Veda. Rig Veda is in Sanskrit. The kind of Sanskrit that was there was different. So Sanskrit is going to improve. Few people contribute here. One person has given organized format. Now even further simplification is done by next generation. So ancestors gave something, one person improve it, and the next generation is going to further improve. This is how Indian tradition, Indian ideas are continuously taken forward without any break. There was a question also in mains, how Indian traditions were continuously flourishing since ancient times without much break. This is the reason. So people keep on remembering and people keep on improving on top of it. From the prelims point of view, these are the facts. From the mains point of view, one important mains point is this one. This can be one of your examples to prove that how Indian culture is continuously flourishing since ancient times. patronized Patanjali. All right, next. Sixth one, many wars with Greeks. Sanskrit text referred Greeks. This is another prelims question. Referred Greeks as Evanas. So what is the name referred to Greeks in Sanskrit text? Evanas. Another prelims question. Later, in the context of Pushyamitra Shunga, this term is used for Greeks. There are different names also, like Mleshchas or outsiders or barbarians. Gradually, this term is also emerging for outsiders. But specifically, Evanas in this context was referred to Greeks. This term is for generally outsiders, barbarians, outsiders, Mleshchas. The term Yavana also, even though it was used for Greeks, after some time, it is also became a term for outsider, Yavanas. Now, these Sanskrit books are going to continue for the next generation also, like Guptas, post-Guptas, Delhi Sultans, Vijayanagara Empire, Mughals. This term even used for Turks or Delhi Sultan Turks. To the Turkish people, there is Bahamanas. Bahmani kingdom was there. Vijayanagara rulers were there. What is the time period? Here we are in before Jesus. Now Vijayanagara Empire means this comes in 1500 CE. Sri Krishna Devaraya was ruling Vijayanagara Empire near Karnataka region in 1500s, 1509 to 1529. During that time period also, Vijayanagara Empire is known for patronizing Sanskrit tradition. Now you see how Sanskrit tradition is continued. Next generation, almost after 1500 years, this Patanjali is also known for giving yoga practices. Same yoga practice even today also, International Yoga Day. Now you see how Indian traditions are continuously flourishing. In the context of Sanskrit also, Vijayanagara emperors patronized all the local languages also, at the same time Sanskrit also. Now when they are referring to Sanskrit, they will read Patanjali, Mahabhashya also. When they read and they are going to read about Evanas, the term they also used in the context of Bahmanis. Bahmanis means Persians and Turkish. So do you see how this term? So this Evanas means people who come from outside Khyber Pass. This kind of terminologies also emerged over a period of time. But for the first time, this term Yavana referred to Greeks. Later, this is going to be applied for Turks also in Indian history. This is also important. Malaysia means outsider or barbarians. Or simply, this term also barbarians means, they say, when it comes to Roman Empire, they were using this term. It is referring to again, the meaning of this also barbarians means outsiders only. So simply, who are beyond Roman Empire. Like that. Another terms, see how people are coming. Everything, each and every term is important for the prelims point of view. I already told you, in 1 year out of 6 prelims questions in ancient India, 3 questions from just this chapter. 50% of ancient questions from this chapter. That itself shows how important this. All right. Now, after him, these are the developments with respect to Pushyamitra Shunga. He stabilized his kingdom and he tried to stop the invasions of Greeks and he established his control over Gangetic Valley. After him, Agnimitra. Another important ruler, Agnimitra. Now, when it comes to Agnimitra, we know about Agnimitra from the great Sanskrit dramatist Kalidasa. But Kalidasa belonged to which time period? Gupta time period. Gupta time period is also known as classical age for Sanskrit. Classical age for Sanskrit. That's why during that time period, Kalidasa was writing on various themes. He has chosen one theme about Shungas also. Shungas are known for patronizing Brahmanical tradition, Sanskrit tradition. That's why one of the themes of Kalidasa is Shunga dynasty, particularly about Agnimitra. He has written a book about relationship between Agnimitra and Malavika. The book name is Malavikagnimitram. Malavika is a princess from Vidarbha region. So it is a romantic love story between Agnimitra and Malavika. The book is Malavikagnimitram. Now you see how the future generation are going to talk about the Shungas. In this way, Shungas became one of the important dynasty in Sanskrit tradition because these books are there in Sanskrit. Whoever reads Sanskrit, they are going to come to know about Shungas. And naturally, as they were patronizing Brahmanical tradition or Sanskrit books and Puranas also going to glorify Shungas. Shungas as someone who are going to maintain dharma. Here dharma means fourfold varna order, that is varna ashrama system. 4 varnas and ashrama system. According to Puranas and according to Brahmanical text, one of the important role or the important function of a good king is to maintain 4 varnas in strict sense. But when it comes to India, even though books are referring to this, but practically it is something else will happen in India. So it shows the books are showing some kind of rigid attitude, but Indian society was showing liberal attitude. Always that friction will be there, liberal versus conservative attitude. But you will find so many liberal elements at the same time when some books are referring to conservative elements. This about Agnimitra. Next important personality is Bhagabhadra. Bhagabhadra. What is the importance of Bhagabhadra for our history means? Remember Bhagabhadra? During his time period, there was a friendly relationship between Greeks and Shungas. When it comes to Pushyamitra Shunga time period, Greeks and Pushyamitra Shunga fighting. By his time period, diplomatic relations started. Same like Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya and Seleucus Nicator fought with each other and peaceful exchange. Megasthenes also came to the port of Pataliputra. Pataliputra is important capital. They also maintained one capital here, that is Vidisha. Their empire is like this. There is a place near Vidisha, there is a place called Besnagar. There is a place called in Madhya Pradesh, Besnagar. Now identify this one. Very important development is happening now. This is Mathura. Mathura means, in case of Hinduism, which god is associated with Mathura? Krishna. When it comes to Rama, Ayodhya. When it comes to Pushyamitra Shunga, performed Ashwamedha sacrifice in this location. Mathura is important for Krishna. This time period is a revival of Brahmanical tradition. Brahmanical tradition is reviving. As a result, the later Vedic period traditions, later Vedic ideas flourished. Now they are entering into a new stage, a new kind of cult emerging now called Bhagavata cult. Now this cult is focusing on, now we are in post-Mauryan time period. During Mauryan time period and Mahajanapada time period, so many varieties of religions emerged like Buddhism, Jainism, Ajivika, Charvaka and so on. All these heterodox ideas gave strong opposition to Brahmanical ideas. Now during this time period, Brahmanical ideas also reformed themselves on the lines of Buddhism and Jainism. What is the core principle of Buddhism and Jainism? This is non-violence, inclusive approach, Bhakti tradition. That means some people even started worshipping heroes of Jainism in the format of images. In the format of images, Buddha also being worshipped. Now, a Bhakti is emerging. This is a kind of Bhakti movement in Brahmanical tradition also. Now, you see, some social evils that were prevalent in Brahmanical tradition countered by new ideas. As a result, this is called reformation. Within Brahmanical tradition, counter reformation starts. This is known as counter reformation. That means within Brahmanical tradition, reformation starts. As a result of that reformation, a new kind of Bhakti tradition is emerging that is called Bhagavatism. Gradually, this concept is going to become Dashavatara concept. Dashavatara concept by Gupta time period, it is going to emerge. It was centered around the god Vishnu, Krishna. Bhagavatism is emerging now. Now do you see how it is emerging? Buddhism, Jainism already became popular because of the royal patronage of Mauryans. It became popular. Now Buddhism is spreading into different places. Already Buddhism went to Sri Lanka also, Central Asia also, West Asia also. Buddhist ambassadors went, Ashoka ambassadors went. Now within this, Brahmanical revivalism also took place. Bhagavata cult emerged. Now important for the prelims point of view, all these things. Analytical point of view, reformation within Brahmanical tradition. One more important fact is, now this Bhagavatism is appealing not only within India, within Indians. Indians now started giving more and more importance to all of them. Buddhism also, some people are following Buddhism, some are Jainism. Even Bhagavatism cult also becoming very, very popular. It became one of the important tool to spread Brahmanical tradition to deep interiors. It penetrated into tribal regions also. That is how the popularity is growing. It is even attracted foreign ambassadors also. That is the context. During this time period, Greeks also wanted to maintain friendly relationship. One Greek ambassador called Heliodorus is a Greek ambassador. Like Megasthenes, Heliodorus, this time period. He was in the court of Bhagabhadra. That is why this personality is important. He was in the court of Bhagabhadra and he gave base Nagar pillar inscription. Getting connected now? Pushyamitra Shunga was fighting with the Greeks. By his time period, peaceful relationship established. Even ambassadors also exchanged. One ambassador came called Heliodorus. By this time period, already religious atmosphere changed. This religious atmosphere is emergence of Bhagavata cult. Heliodorus also attracted to this. he gave one pillar inscription, and in this inscription, he himself told, I am a Bhagavata. I am a Bhagavata. So that means I am a follower of Bhagavatism. So what is happening here? Bhagavatism means Vishnu. Vishnu related shrine also going to come in this place. In 1 year, there was one prelims question, match the following type. Base Nagar, Shiva cult or Shiva shrine. No, it is not Shiva, it is Vishnu. If you know the entire story behind it, then let any kind of question come, let any kind of permutation combination come. You need not to worry because you know the story, you know the context, you know the people who are the contemporary people and also emergence of various ideas. Even if you cannot remember every fact, you need not to, don't mug up at all. I always try to see the context. Greeks, Heliodorus. Even Helio, the meaning of Helio is sun. One of the reasons for this natural interaction between Greeks and Brahmanical edition is Greek gods and Sanskrit gods share similar kind of traits. Here also Shiva concept, here also Shiva concept. Here also Trishul is the weapon of, here also Trishul, one of the weapons. Here also sun god, here also sun god. Goddess, goddess. That's why similar kind of pattern, that is where they also called Aryans, Sanskrit speakers, Rigvedic, who are the authors of Rigvedas? Aryans. Now natural interaction is coming. That interaction led even attraction towards Indian ideology, that is Bhagavatism. Alright, so this is way, in this format, in this analysis, you have to see, always see the context. Then you will never forget. Otherwise, mugging up is very difficult task. So far we have discussed about the Shungas and Greeks. Multiple people are going to be there, but in this video, we focused on Shunga Empire. 3 important powerful people, Pushyamitra Shunga, then Agnimitra, then Bhagabhadra. You see, so many questions. Heliodorus, Bhagabhadra. Kalidasa, Agnimitra. Malavika Agnimitram, Kalidasa, Agnimitra combination. Then when it comes to Pushyamitra Shunga, Panini Ashtadhyayi, great commentary. Patanjali, Mahabhashya. Patanjali also associated with yoga. Sanskrit revival. Ashwamedha sacrifices during Shunga Empire. When it comes to places also, Patliputra is one capital, Vidisha is also another capital in Madhya Pradesh. Alright, so these are the various places, various personalities and various ideologies. Buddhism, Jainism, Bhagavatism now are becoming competitors within Indian subcontinent. Different rulers are going to patronize different ideologies. Shungas patronized Brahmanical ideology. Term Yavanas refers to Greeks in the Indian context. In the initial context, later it is going to be a very common term for whoever comes from Khyber Pass. Alright, this and the last one is Devabhuti. He was killed by another dynasty person, Kanva dynasty, and it is going to, Shunga dynasty is going to be replaced by another dynasty called Kanva dynasty. So Devabhuti, last ruler. Last ruler, Devabhuti. Devabhuti, he was the last ruler. His minister, see the name, his minister Vasudeva Kanva. Vasudeva Kanva. His minister killed him and establishes Kanva dynasty. So around 75 BC, it is going to happen, somewhere around this. See this one? Up to 185 to 73 BC, Shungas were there. Shungas were replaced by Kanva dynasty. Last ruler. Now you see this, Pushyamitra, Agnimitra, Vasumitra, Devabhuti, Bhagabhadra also we have seen, and now succeeded by Kanva dynasty. These are from 73 BC to 23 BCE, they are going to stay there. They are going to mainly focus this region, Magadha, Kanva. The other areas which were there under Shungas are going to be captured by Shatavahanas or Shakas or Kushanas. In this way, Shunga Empire declined. Remember important personalities, important books. This is very, very important from the prelims point of view. Every 2-3 years once, UPSC is asking related to Shunga or Shunga related associated personalities. In this format, try to remember important developments during Shunga time period. Because this is what? During post-Mauryan time period, it is not that a single empire. When it comes to Mauryan, we will talk about the political history of Mauryans. Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara, Ashoka, done. But when it comes to post-Mauryan, it is not the case. Different dynasties are there. Within each dynasty, multiple kings are there. For each king, there are some associated important facts for examination. That's why we are dealing one after the other. Shunga. So in next video, we will take another dynasty and another dynasty. Likewise, we have to cover post-Mauryan time period. All right. So with this, Shunga dynasty ended, Kanva dynasty emerged, and this Kanva dynasty replaced by this also now later going to be conquered by Shatavahanas. This is how Shunga dynasty ended, Kanva dynasty emerged, and Kanva dynasty is also replaced by Shatavahanas after some time. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.